What's your favourite Harley Davidson motorcycle? Here's my list of the top 10 Harley Davidsons ever. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. What's your list? Let's roll! Coming in at number 10 is the 1965 Electra Glide with its panhead engine. Now this is definitely an iconic bike and the purists are probably saying, what? Number 10?
You don't know anything about bikes.
Throwing their beer at me. Remember the screen's glass. I've got the YouTube channel, so I'm the expert. Just kidding. No, I'm not. The Electra Glide was the start of the touring bikes and the origin of what we know as the Ultra or the Street Glide. It's also iconic because Elvis rode one and it looks great. They say Elvis switched over to it because it had an electric start. Anyone who's kick-started a bike's going to agree with that. What a pain in the foot, leg. Looks cool when you do it and the bike's warmed up. I wonder if that's what Elvis said. Now the Electra Glide also had the last of the panhead engines. The panhead ran from 1948 to 1965. I think it was about 61 cubic inches all the way to 74 cubic inches depending on the year. And of course this is the prettiest of the Harley Davidson engines. A lot of the best looking old school choppers have got a panhead. Both the bikes in the Easy Rider movie were panheads, and I think still to this day a couple of companies still make a larger capacity version of the panhead. So the panhead's an iconic look just for being pretty, and the Electra Glide is an awesome looking bike if you like old school. Paul from the Harley Roadshow, what's the best Harley ever made?
I reckon a panhead. Now,
Why?
aesthetically, it's one of the nicest ones they've ever made, and I just love the look of them. Any of the new ones are the best ones ever made. But I reckon the new either Street Glide or Road Glide ST, the 2024 models, absolutely nailed it.
Number 9's the Sportster. I've got to include the Sportster. It's another iconic bike. Been around since 1957 and it's famous for being called a girl's bike. And that's a tragedy because that means the Harley community eat their own. It's a small bike. It's considered an entry-level bike. It's a lot smaller, lighter and cheaper than the bigger Harleys. So if you're small in stature or you want something more nimble than the bigger Harleys, perhaps you want to do a very cool looking cafe racer style custom, then the Sportster's the one to get. Now without this bike, a lot of people would never have entered the Harley Davidson universe, so you've got to give it a lot of credit for that. That makes it a great bike. My favourite's the 48, which ran from 2010 to a couple of years ago, I think. The dark version of the Sportster, it's got a bit of a bulldoggy stance. Looks very cool, I love it. What's the best Harley Davidson ever made?
The Sportster.
The Sportster? Fantastic. Why?
The
Besides
Sportster
you've
is
got
the
one.
most all-round motorcycle that you can buy from Harley Davidson. It is by far and away the most customisable, as I believe, and like mine, you can trick them up.
Hi, my name's Eamon. Welcome to the channel. If you like what I'm doing, you can find me at the website oldnotdead.club. We can grab some great supporter gear like this t-shirt, help the channel out. Of course, you've got to check out the great motorcycle gear at Resurgence Gear, who of course are sensational supporters of this channel. So if you're after motorcycle gear, have a look at their website. They've got sensational gear, AAA rated, very comfortable, and you won't look like a pirate. Now number 8 is the WL or the WLA, which is the army version of it. It's an iconic looking bike and I think the standard look when somebody wants to portray a very old Harley Davidson. It's only a 45 cubic inch engine. It's slow and probably hard to manage with a foot clutch.
Slightly deep bit of rev. Touch and go. Put some throttle and then give it a go.
Hard to manage by today's standard, I should say, but of course you've got to acknowledge your elders. I'm just saying that because I'm getting older. The WLA ran from 1940 to about 1952. And I'm putting it in this list because the higher production during the war years was really what started the Harley Davidson motorcycle culture. Turned servicemen from World War II, bought up the surplus army stock, and here we are today. It looks cool. It would be cool to own one, but probably only to ride up to the local shops. What's your favourite?
I've got a 42 WLA, but we've got to put that together, so that'll be
it?
That'll be the one.
All right, fantastic. How long is that going to take?
I don't know, it needs a full rebuild, so it's just been in parts pretty much the whole life, so it'll hopefully done before they get to ride, so.
And number 7 is the Dyna, fast, light and nimble in its day. It ran from the early 90s to to 2017. I had one with a stage 4, it's awesome fun. It revved a smidge higher than the Softails. I think that was because it didn't have the same counterbalancing as the Softail engines. It was a rubber mounted engine, so I probably didn't need that. Put in the comments if you know that to be true or false, the reason for the lack of counterbalancing in the Dyna engine. Now, it was a lot easier to throw around than a Softail, but you definitely needed aftermarket suspension if you had a Dyna, because who wouldn't want a hoon on one of those? It was common for stunt riders in certain subcultures, and of course for the Sons of Anarchy look. And number 6 is the Night Rod, which is my favourite version of the iconic V-Rod. So many people say this isn't really a Harley Davidson because the engine was made or designed in collaboration with Porsche. In my eyes, if Harley Davidson outsources a design to the man in the moon, and then they put their Harley badge on, it's a Harley Davidson. And of course, there's a hidden meaning in that comment. It was meant to be the Harley that goes fast in a straight line, and for a Harley in its day, it was fast. One of the things I love about this bike is it started a whole subculture of guys riding around in t-shirts and shorts, wearing red runners and doing burnouts everywhere. Awesome. And of course, if I could pull this look off, if I could even fit on a V-Rod, I'd be doing the same, wouldn't you? Now, number 5 is the current Road Glide with the M8 engine. Not so long ago, the Road Glide was the ugly duckling of the Harley lineup, always overlooked for the Street Glide. But I think the King of the Baggers racing series has completely transformed the Road Glide and turned it into an icon. The look seems to have grown on everyone now, and it's firmly entrenched as the King of the Baggers. And it's also fueled the whole performance bagger trend, which I think is a good thing. It's an awesome bike. My friend Blake's got one with a 131 and a Thrashin' bars setup. Great fun to ride. It's got a unique, aggressive riding position that just makes you want to go fast. Of course, Harley riders are a force for good, so we only ride our rockets up to the speed limit and then we cruise. Stoney, what's the best Harley ever made?
Road Glide, mate.
Ever?
It is, mate. Yeah, it's not a girl's bike either.
He is cut to the max.
Hey!
It was good.
See that man's bike past the girl's bike on the way down here? I think it's on camera.
On the way down here, Stoney went flying past, at the speed limit of course. Now, number 4 is the mid-90s Bad Boy. That's a Softail with a Springer front end. This one gets a mention because it's a very cool looking bike. Sort of what the public often expects a Harley to look like. It was like a custom, more aggressive version of the Softail that was available at the time. It wasn't very popular at the time, I think because it had a lot less bling, and bling at the time was king, so Harley scrapped it after a few years. Billy Lane from Biker Build-Off fame does a great job on his channel of making these bikes look even tougher and cooler with a little bit of extra performance as well. It's an awesome bike, you've got to include it in your list. They're getting very expensive here in Australia. I guess there aren't that many around. Number 3 is the early 90s black Fat Boy. That's a tough looking, iconic bike. A lot of people seem to like them. And in 1991, through the Terminator 2 movie, it brought a lot of people to Harley Davidson, including myself. Fat Boys survive to this day. I've had 4 of them. They are awesome. The talk of crosswinds affecting their performance because they have solid wheels, what a load of BS. Doesn't happen. This is the favourite bike for a lot of people, including non-Harley riders. It's often the first big Harley that people buy before you grow up and get a touring bike. Someone's going to punch me at the next event.
How are you? Subscribe.
Where's your bike? Tell us about it.
Oh, well, it's a pirate theme. Harley Davidson 97 Fat Boy.
Because we're all pirates?
Well, we are. Yes, I've just done a themed it up as a pirate.
All right, let's have a look.
Getting drunk from 7 to 3. Overindulged in flesh like it's free. We're on a fast ride where monkeys killing time with machines.
So what do you think the best Harley Davidson model is that they've ever made?
Well, I'm biased.
If you didn't have this, what would you get?
Look, it'd still be a Fat Boy.
Yeah?
It'd be the new, brand new Fat Boy.
Hello, this is Hodge. He's a 6-year-old bearded dragon, Central Gippsland, actually.
And what's Hodge's favourite or most iconic Harley? What do you reckon?
Oh,
What was he
pirate,
like?
for sure.
The pirate bike. Check out this guy. What can we make him do? Does he do any tricks or what does he do?
He only eats people that hold microphones and cameras in his face.
Number 2, the Street Glide, a late model one with a 114 or a 117. What can I say except love? The Batwing fairing, it's an iconic design. Origin is arguably the Electra Glide, where in about 1969 they picked up the Batwing fairing as an optional extra. I own one, I love it. With the M8 engine, you can really get these big tanks moving. I'm talking road speeds, not racetrack, so, you know, up to 200. For a big bike, it's very nimble, a lot more nimble than the Road Glide. It's got saddlebags so you can carry things wherever you're going. Wind protection on the fairing means you can hammer. I see it as a great all-rounder. I'm on my second one. I didn't buy one for touring purposes. I just wanted to hammer on the open road. The fairing really does make a difference. Most people will say having that extra protection, there's no going back. Now, bike number 1, the superstar of the video, the Lowrider S. Now, this bike was a new addition into the Softail lineup, probably as a replacement of the Dyna, which was phased out. And I guess Harley, in their wisdom, has amalgamated the Softail and the Dyna range into one platform. This is a comfortable, light and easy to throw around bike for a Harley. It's an absolute joy to ride, great power to weight ratio. It's got modern cruiser looks, it's got mid controls for a lot more feel and control over the bike around the corners. It was good with the 114, now with the 117 it's even better. Hot this one up and you're going to have an absolute blast. Most people are going to be very happy with just a cam and some basic upgrades. But the possibilities! I don't own one. Mainly because I'm 6'4". I find the Street Glide a lot more suitable for the long haul. If I was going to buy one, I'd have the ST fairing put on it. You could just get an ST model with the fairing already there, but I don't know about those saddlebags. It's a lot easier to ride than the big touring bikes if you are smaller or lighter than me, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Now, if you like today's video, check out these other 2 videos that I'll link here, where I test ride both of these bikes.
Somewhere in your chest, on your sweetheart hit a mist. Uh-oh, uh-oh.